Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Unplugged and Uncut, the new source for sports, news, and entertainment. Today, we're going to be going around the NBA landscape as we get closer to the draft. Hit you up with the new and up-to-date latest draft news going around the association. Before we get started, though, if you're not taking the time to hit the subscribe button, make sure you do. I am giving away a PlayStation 5 Disc Edition with the game of your choice. All you got to do to be entered to win is be an active subscriber and leave comments in the comment section. That's it. But let's get right into it because we got a lot to get into. We're going to start off real quickly with the Raptors being interested in Jakob Poeltl. That is right, the Raptors are said to be looking for a starting caliber center and have been linked to Jakob Poeltl. Maybe they want to get reunited and it feels so good. Jakob Poeltl averaged 14 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. Really, that 14 was 13.9, but I rounded up. The 10 was 9.9. Again, I rounded up. The point went off. But 14, 10, and 2 to make it easy. He was the number 2 defensive rated center in the NBA. And it makes sense that the Toronto Raptors would like to get back one of the players they might feel like they let go. He was one of their lottery picks, and he was included in the Kawhi Leonard-Danny Green trade. So we'll keep looking out there to see if the Raptors do have that interest in Jakob Poeltl. A couple free agent options they might be able to look at as well to help fill that starting center position would be Mitchell Robinson. Could be involved in a sign and trade if you want to outbid the New York Knicks. If you're just looking for an excellent center that could start or come off the bench, a JaVale McGee, Robin Lopez are not bad options, and they won't cost you as much as well. So there are 3 options the Raptors could use if they're not able to get their guy, Jakob Poeltl. If they really want Jakob Poeltl, though, the Spurs have been said to be shopping him. So I don't see why that would be too hard. However, with the Spurs' current roster, they might want to wait until the draft to make any type of official announcements on these trades or trade rumors that might be out there. So we'll keep checking this out to see what's going on with the Toronto Raptors. It looks like they are interested in making their team better. Next up, we got Shaedon Sharpe. Shaedon Sharpe predicted to be a top 5 player. Looks like he might be slipping into the late lottery. Now, to me, teams that pass up on this kid will regret it, like they passed up on Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry. Whoever passed up on those players, Giannis Antetokounmpo, you skipped him, you regret it. Shaedon Sharpe could be the best, or at least one of the best players in this entire draft. He has superstar upside and potential. So I don't see him going past OKC at 12 at the latest. I mean, if he goes that late, OKC just won again. They struck again. How did you get Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook? Because they got a GM that pays attention. So I don't see him going past OKC, but there are rumors that he could slip. Next up, we got an actual trade. Houston Rocket fans, where you at? Dallas Maverick fans, stand up. So we had spoke about possible Christian Wood rumors and trade scenarios that they could have made with the San Antonio Spurs. And it looks like we weren't too far off. The Rockets were shopping Christian Wood, and they were able to move him to the Dallas Mavericks. Now, the Rockets are going to wind up receiving the number 26 pick, Boban, Sterling Brown, Trey Burke, Marquise Chris. While the Dallas Mavericks get Christian Wood's 19.1 points, 9.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 1 block over the last 2 seasons that he's played with the Houston Rockets. Really good numbers. So both teams get what they want. Mavs get a player they can pair next to Luka to help take some pressure off of him. The Rockets get some more draft capital. Now, the only player I see they might wind up keeping is the Trey Burke. They might want to keep Boban too. You know, Boban is excellent height. You can't teach height, so you could throw him in there at any time and slow the game down and just muck it up and let him get in there and get some easy buckets for you. I've seen teams like the Clippers do this. When he was with the Spurs, they did that as well. So Boban could stick as well, and then he's also a good presence in the locker room. Next up in the news, will any team help the Philadelphia 76ers? That is right. The 76ers are looking to trade Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle. They're even looking at possibly trading their draft pick, the 23rd pick, and Danny Green. Man, to me, losing Danny Green would be a big loss for a team that has championship aspirations because he knows what it takes to be a champion. That is right. Not only that, he is a champion and a monster defensive presence that hits timely three-point shots. There were a couple games that Philly won in the playoffs that they would have lost without Danny Green. Now, they didn't get as far as they wanted, but I'm not sure Danny Green is the player I'm letting go. I understand trading Tobias Harris's contract. In fact, I wouldn't trade Matisse Thybulle either. You're probably not going to get the type of return, but maybe they're trying to package those players together to make it easier to offload Tobias Harris. Because they do want to be a championship team, and they do got an MVP level player in Joel Embiid. We'll find out and see what happens with James Harden. Right now, from what I'm hearing, it is presumed that he will be back next year. But it's no guarantees. So we'll keep watching out for the 76ers to see if they're able to find somebody to take Tobias Harris. You might have a better chance of moving Tobias Harris if you included that 23rd pick. So maybe Tobias Harris, Thybulle, and the 23rd pick can get you a solid return. And lastly, we got some Spurs notes coming up. Rival GMs believe that the San Antonio Spurs are targeting a center with the 9th pick. However, going on the earlier rumors that we heard, I say it's best to go with the best available player. Now, preferably that best available player is a center or power forward. But if you're in a situation with Shaedon Sharpe sitting there with that superstar potential, the Spurs will have decisions to make. Quick note though, Larry Brown, legendary coach, believes Jalen Duren has a bright future in the NBA, and he's an assistant at the University of Memphis. Now, this echoes my sentiments about Jalen Duren as well. I think this kid is going to be a monster. He's built like a young Dwight Howard, Shaquille O'Neal, David Robinson. He is slamming everything down. Not to mention that he was a reclassified senior in high school this year, guys. He should have been playing high school basketball, but he was out there with Memphis playing college basketball. So he is one of the youngest players in the draft as well. However, the same can be said about Shaedon Sharpe, one of the youngest players in this draft. And Shaedon Sharpe, I don't know. Just to give you their draft comparisons. So Shaedon Sharpe has been compared to Brandon Roy, and they're comparing Jalen Duren to Dwight Howard. Do you pass on Brandon Roy, a healthy Brandon Roy, not injured, but a healthy Brandon Roy for Dwight Howard, or do you pass on Dwight Howard for a healthy Brandon Roy? So for you guys who don't watch college basketball, that is the closest comp I can give you. I think Jalen Duren has a little bit more skill than Dwight Howard, but the body frame and player type and defensive prowess is very similar. Jalen Duren has a nice little jump shot, guys, from about 9, 10. I've seen him stretch it to 15, and it looks real smooth. So don't be surprised to see him hitting that face-up jump shot on people. So that's a tough question if you're a Spurs fan. And if you're Brian Wright, if Shaedon Sharpe is sitting there, ooh, Jalen Duren's sitting there, ooh, who do you take? Do you go against all of this and pick up a Dyson Daniels, a Mark Williams? I mean, there's so many options there. We'll see what happens, and I'll keep digging in here, guys, and speaking to the people I know, and then also digging through the internet to see if I can find out any more information that gives us any type of hint at what direction they're truly going to go. Because if rival GMs think the Spurs are targeting a center, that could be smokescreen for who the Spurs are actually targeting, since they've had other GMs come in and step right before they draft and take the player the Spurs were scouting, even though that player might not have been predicted or projected to go that high. A lot of times teams do that. They'll try and poach the player that the Spurs have been scouting. A good example would be a Kyle Kuzma. Great example of the Spurs about to draft Kyle Kuzma, and the Los Angeles Lakers be like, ooh, let's check out that Kuz. Ooh, let's check out the Kuz. So they went and checked out King Kuzma. And it worked out for the Lakers. They wound up getting a championship with Kyle Kuzma, but the Spurs would have really liked that pick. So, guys, we'll keep checking it out, following the NBA, see what's going on here. Really interesting to see the Raptors wanted to get reunited with Jakob Poeltl. Shaedon Sharpe possibly falling to as low as OKC. Will OKC be lucky again? Wow, we just said they had Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. If Shaedon Sharpe falls to them, this team could have had 4 superstar-type players on their team. All drafted. That's ridiculous. And excellent scouting. Christian Wood moving to the Mavs. Maverick fans, how y'all feel about that? Do y'all like that pickup? Rocket fans, do you feel like you could have got more? I don't know. Are you satisfied with the 26th draft pick? I mean, you already got multiple first-round picks. So, is that what you were looking for? 76er fans, is anybody going to help you guys? Is Daryl Morey crossed out and burnt too many bridges across the league, making it feel like he didn't shook other teams down for their players? You think anybody's going to want to pick up your 23rd pick and Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Matisse Thybulle? We're going to be following that. And Spurs fans, as the Spurs try to get back into playoff contention, what do you do if you come in a situation where you got Jalen Duren and Shaedon Sharpe sitting there? Now, the Spurs have also been linked to players like DeAndre Ayton, so maybe you take Shaedon Sharpe and pick up Ayton in free agency if possible. You never know, but I'll be checking the comments to see how everybody feels about the rumors and everything going on, all the news coming out of the NBA. And y'all have a blessed day, because your boy is out. Peace.